Good morning. I think I feel better than I look right now. I've been up since 5:30. I have no idea what this is. I mean, there's some days that, we don't set an alarm because we don't need to. And some days I'm asleep until 6:30 or 7 because coffee is at 7 at our house. And some days I'm like awake at 3 and 4 and 5, and around that point I finally give up and quit trying to go back to sleep. So this morning it was 5:30, and I was thinking about a lot of different things, and none of them were terribly productive. So I got up and I scrolled Facebook because it makes me feel mindless, and I thought maybe if I felt a little mindless I'd go back to sleep. Well, that didn't work, so I worked on my to-do list. I got a couple of things done. And so by the time I settled into this, I was already kind of into my routine, and looking at like where I'm at in my study of solitude, I'm kind of vacillating back and forth between why solitude for me, why solitude for others. And one of the areas that was becoming really evident was that there is a connection for artists and writers and anybody who does creative work. There is a connection between creativity and solitude, and that solitude is chosen solitude. It's the idea of, in some respects, as particularly as busy things as things are today, there are times that most of us just need to get away. And we get away from the distractions and the interruptions and the noise, and we do whatever it is we do. And some people do these solitude retreats, these solo retreats, and they walk. They find a place that they're happy in and they sit. It's connected to creativity. As you read through and you read what other writers, or as I read what other writers will say about their writing rituals and their writing practice and how they approach their work. Most ideas for me happen when I'm out interacting. Even as an introvert, just seeing what's going on in the world around me or hearing other conversations, the inspiration comes to me through reading, but it comes through some kind of interaction. And then the creative expression comes from times when I'm alone, and whatever I've experienced has a chance to be released in whatever form it's going to take. I think that's why I connected so deeply to May Sarton and her Journal of a Solitude, where she talks about that. And she talks about needing that time alone so she can process what she's just experienced. For that reason, and some of the reading I started doing this morning, I did an Open Explorer Substack search on writing rituals, and ran into the first thing I really kind of expected to run into, and that is I've got a lot of writing rituals, and I've got some great ideas for you, and if you subscribe and pay for this, I will be happy to share them with you, because they know that at some points we're all desperate for that. It's like, help me get back into my writing, help me figure out how to make my writing happen as often and as frequently as I'd like. I did run across a couple of people who talked about the 5-minute thing, or the 15-minute thing, or the 10-minute thing. But I'm going to give myself 5 minutes this morning just to kind of reflect on continuing to reflect on what solitude really means to me and how it's connected to my creativity, and then just whatever else the wind blows in, because we're expecting a storm this afternoon and then snow tomorrow. So, all right, as always, here we go. I'm going to stop talking. sometimes when I start writing, something other than what I thought I was writing comes out, and it's always kind of amazing. And one of the things I tell people who journal is that there are two kinds of journaling. There's like memoir writing, where you are journaling knowing that someone else is going to read it, or hoping that someone else reads it, and that you're writing it really for the purpose of sharing, and you try to be as honest and authentic as possible. And then there's the kind of journaling that tends to be extremely helpful for me. And that is the kind of journaling I do when I know that no matter what I put on that page, no one else is going to ever see it. And it's only in that moment that I can actually release whatever it is that's working. Sometimes releasing that takes me somewhere. And it takes me to something else that I write, or to some other kind of project, or to some kind of internal revelation that then takes me someplace else. But it's the honesty in that place on the page that is just for me. It's just for me and the lines hold the secrets, and it's what the writing has to tell me. So this was one of those moments, and it'll be interesting to see where some of that ends up. Thank you for watching these. If you're watching all the way to the end of the video, I appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed, if you'd go ahead and subscribe, and click the like button, leave a comment, or not. I'm doing this as much just for me and my own sense of accountability and my own recording as I am for anything else. Thank you.